In this episode, we're going to be looking at Nvidia, the company that powered AI. And here's a quick disclaimer before we start. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I make these videos for entertainment purposes only. So please do not use my videos as financial advice. And with that being said, let's begin. So, Nvidia is an American multinational technology company that designs graphics, processing units, GPU systems on a chip, SoCs, and integrated circuits, IC. They also develop and sell personal computers, PC, assembled systems, and other computer-related products. Now, while Nvidia does design and develop their own GPUs and SoCs, they don't actually manufacture them. Their chips are manufactured by Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC. As a quick side note, TSMC is one of the best chip manufacturers in the world. And if you haven't heard of them yet, you definitely will soon enough, as they are the manufacturer behind all of the Apple S new M-series chips in the iPod in 2020, making a bunch of their investors very wealthy. The first product that Nvidia ever sold was a PC-based programmable circuit board called the NV1. It was released in 1995. And it was the world's first chip, built specifically for 3D graphics acceleration. In 1999, Nvidia released their first GPU, called the GORS 256, which was the world's first GPU with 4-pixel pipelines. In 2004, Nvidia began selling their chips to game consoles when they partnered up with Sony to release the GORS 7800 GTX as the custom GPU inside of the PlayStation 3. And in 2006, Nvidia launched the Tesla, their first GPU computing platform aimed at scientific and technical computing. Since then, Nvidia has grown into a massive corporation with a market cap of over $1 trillion. Now, Nvidia is what's called a fabless semiconductor company, meaning that they focus primarily on designing chips rather than manufacturing them. This means that they outsource the expensive manufacturing process to companies like which allows Nvidia to stay lean and nimble as a smaller company while still bringing high-quality products to market. Fabless semiconductor companies usually have higher profit margins compared to full-service chip manufacturers because they don't have to invest in expensive manufacturing equipment. However, they typically have lower revenue compared to larger chip manufacturers because they don't have the same economies of scale. Jensen Huang was born in China and immigrated to the United States in 1988, where he eventually attended the University of Illinois and received his master's and PhD in electrical engineering. Jensen worked for a while at a company called Diamond Multimedia Systems before CUDA in 1994, along with Curtis Prime and Chris CUDA was a startup that made PC video controllers, but it struggled to gain traction against the dominant player in the space, a company called In 1995, Curtis convinced Jensen to rename the company to Nvidia and to shift their focus from video controllers to 3D graphics accelerators. The name Nvidia is actually a portmanteau of the words next Nvidia. So with their new name and new mission in place, Nvidia developed the NV1, their first programmable circuit board, which was released in 1995 and caught the attention of some major players in the PC industry. This caught the attention of some major players in the PC industry, and in 1997, Nvidia partnered up with hardware manufacturer Diamond to bring the NV2 to market. The NV2 was the world's first PCI-based 3D graphics processor. And in 1999, Nvidia partnered up with another hardware manufacturer called Asus to release the GeForce 2, the world's first GPU with 4-pixel pipelines. By the year 2000, Nvidia had become the second largest producer of PC graphics chips with 15% of the market share. The rise of GPU accelerated 3D gaming during the early 2000s led to incredible growth for Nvidia. The company went public in 1999 at an IPO price of $15 per share. Today, Nvidia is worth well over $1 trillion. Nvidia makes most of their money from selling GPUs, which can be broken down into 3 main categories. The first is gaming, which accounts for about half of their sales. This includes both discrete GPUs that gamers buy to add to their PCs as well as the GPUs that are integrated directly onto the CPUs that gamers buy. The second is data center, which accounts for about a third of sales. These are the large-scale GPU systems that are used in server farms for things like machine learning and AI training. The last is automotive, which accounts for about 10% of total sales. This includes the self-driving car business, as well as other automotive-related businesses like in-car infotainment systems and driver assistance features. The remaining 10% of Nvidia sales come from what the company calls other, which includes professional visualization, healthcare, manufacturing, and retail. So the biggest reason why Nvidia stock has been doing so well recently is due to the rise of AI. Modern-day AI requires an enormous amount of computational power to train and operate. When Nvidia released their first Tesla GPU computing platform back in 2006, they weren't yet sure how exactly it would be used. But they knew that there were many problems in science and engineering that required a lot of computation, such as climate modeling, animation, and physics simulation. But little did they know just how much of an impact their technology would have on the world. With the advent of deep learning and neural networks, all of a sudden companies needed a lot more processing power to train models and make predictions. Enter the GPU. GPUs proved to be a good fit for this task because they are specifically designed to handle a lot of parallel computations at once. This is different from traditional CPUs, which are better at handling a smaller number of sequential computations. Because of this, people started to use GPUs to accelerate the training of machine learning models. Nvidia took advantage of this trend and expanded their data center business, which focuses on providing GPUs and other computing resources for AI training and inference. In fact, over 90% of the top 100 AI systems in the world today rely on Nvidia. Not only that, but Nvidia has also expanded into other areas of the AI market, such as robotics, autonomous vehicles, and edge computing. For example, Nvidia has developed platforms for developers to build and train AI models for robots, as well as frameworks for building autonomous vehicle systems. Nvidia is also investing in edge computing, which involves bringing computing resources closer to where the data is generated. For example, Nvidia has acquired several companies that specialize in embedded systems, such as the Israeli chip company Mellanox for $6.9 billion. Overall, Nvidia's expansion into different areas of the AI market has helped the company to grow its revenue and diversify its offerings. One of the reasons why Nvidia has been successful in the AI market is because of the company's focus on software and hardware integration. Nvidia's GPUs are known for their high performance and efficiency, but the company also provides software tools and frameworks that make it easier for developers to build and deploy AI applications. For example, Nvidia's CUDA Toolkit provides a programming model and libraries for developers to harness the power of GPUs for general-purpose computing. Another example is Nvidia's Tensor, which is a software library for optimizing and deploying deep learning models in production. These software offerings have made it easier for developers to take advantage of Nvidia's hardware, which has helped to drive adoption of Nvidia's GPUs in the AI market. Most recently, Nvidia announced the addition of 2 new GPUs to their data center lineup, the H100 and the H100 Tensor Core. According to Nvidia, these new GPUs are 2 to 4 times faster than their predecessors, and that they feature a new architecture called Hopper. With the announcement of these new GPUs, Nvidia is facing off against AMD in the data center space. So far, AMD has been gaining ground on Nvidia in the server space with their new MI250X GPU. The MI250X is a very capable GPU with a lot to offer, but it falls short in a few key areas. First of all, the MI250X doesn't support NVIDIA's NVLink technology, which is a software-defined networking solution for multi-GPU systems. This means that users may need to rely on other networking solutions, which can add complexity and cost. Secondly, the MI250X doesn't support Nvidia's GPU-Direct technology, which enables direct data transfer between GPUs and other devices such as storage arrays. This can result in increased latency and decreased performance. Finally, the MI250X doesn't support Nvidia's advanced virtualization technologies such as NVVM, which allow multiple users to share a single GPU and can help improve resource utilization. Overall, it is clear that Nvidia is a dominant player in the AI space and that the company has a strong position in the market. The rise of AI has created a huge opportunity for Nvidia, and the company has taken full advantage of it. With its focus on software and hardware integration and its investments in different areas of the AI market, Nvidia has been able to grow its revenue and diversify its offering. However, the competition in the AI space is fierce, and Nvidia is constantly under pressure to innovate and stay ahead of the curve. Despite this, Nvidia is well positioned to continue to be a leader in the AI market and to benefit from the continued growth of the industry. Time, as always, will tell. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out more of my content. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.